Hey, it's expired cubing, and I got a 2.25 official PRMix average yesterday. I'm very excited about it. It's my best ever world ranking at 61st, and let's get into it. This was the first solve. I got a 232, and what I did on this was the green V. I did my 3 tips like I always do at the start. I did U prime, R, U prime, R prime to solve this bar. I finished the V as I rotated, and then I got a pretty standard L4E. That was a very straightforward solve. It was 17 moves and 7.32 TPS. Nothing outstanding, just pretty average solve for me. This was the second solve. It was a 224. On this solve, I did top first, and I did the yellow top, or the top that has no yellow in it. I did my 4 tips. I did U prime B R, which sets up this easy one flip and allows me just to go into it and rotate, hedge. That was solve 2. It was a 224. It was 16 moves and 7.14 TPS. So very consistent with the 7 TPS. It's higher than what I usually averaged before this in competitions. So I was very happy and excited going into the third solve. The third solve was a 460 because of a +2. And I did the yellow V. I again did my 4 tips. I did LR to put this edge in a position to be inserted here, which at the same time put this edge in a position to be inserted like this, which solves it here and then solves the center. So I can just finish off the V really easily and get a really easy L4E. I didn't do the last move, which is high +2'd. So my entire solve was 16 moves, and I executed it in 2.6 seconds, which was 6.15 TPS. It should have been 17 moves, but I don't mind that much because it got me 225 average, and I didn't end up counting it, and it would have been my worst solve even without the +2. So let's get into the fourth one. This was a pretty decent scramble. I was looking for a really long time for a V, but I couldn't find anything, so I just went for this top. I saw that these two centers were in position for the really easy 3-mover, so I just decided to do this top and insert the edge in a way that causes this to be flipped. Then I just went about my business, solved the one flip, solved the top, rotated, did a 3-cycle. The 3-cycle was really fast, and it ended up carrying this solve to 7.8 TPS, which is a lot higher than what my official results usually are. And that gave me all the confidence I needed to go into the 5th solve knowing I would get a PR. This solve, however, was one of the easiest solves I've ever done. It's my PR2, and as you can see by the scramble, it's really easy. I did the 3 tips, and I did U prime R2, which cancels into this alternate L4E alg, which is really spammy and goes like that. So I went in, did an R2, and then had no AUF and was done. That was a 1.45. If you count the double move as 2 moves, it equals out to 9.65 TPS. If you count the double move as 1 move, it's not terror speed. So I'm going to count it as 2 moves and say that that was my first ever official terror speed solve. So that was all the times in my 225 average. I'd also like to highlight something from finals, which was technically my first ever official terror speed solve if you count the double move in my last solve as 1 move. But this one was definitely terror speed. This was a 1.65, and I got it in finals. Don't know how I got it, but it was really impressive for me. What I did was the red V. I did 3 tips, started the solve with B, L, U, B. which solved the V like that. And then I did the worst, most horrific alphabet case no one should ever do, but I did, which was sledge, U, and then an insert, and then another U. I knew that I could very, very reliably execute this officially, and I just spammed away to TPS and ended up being a 9.5 TPS solve, which technically was my first ever Terra Speed solve. This entire comp was just a really fun experience. I got the best average that wasn't a PR in finals, which is a really weird thing to say, but I did that and I just did really good. So yeah, hopefully I'll get sub 2 by the end of 2023. And yeah, I'm expired cubing and now I'm not.